Hello, how are you?
Hi, James. I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Welcome, everyone, to our podcast where we discuss interesting topics to help you learn English. My name is James.
And I'm Olivia. Thank you all for joining us today. In this episode, we're going to talk about working conditions. This is an important topic, especially if you're working or planning to work in an English-speaking country.
Absolutely. To start, we'll explain some key vocabulary that we'll use throughout this discussion. These words will help you understand the topic better. Let's begin. The first word is pension. A pension is money that people receive regularly after they retire, usually paid by their employer or the government.
That's a great word. Could you give us a few examples?
Of course. 1. My grandfather receives a pension every month after working for 40 years. 2. The company offers a generous pension plan to its employees. 3. If you save more for your retirement, your pension will be higher.
Great examples, James. Now, our next word is bonus. A bonus is extra money given to someone, usually as a reward for good performance or for reaching a goal.
Good one. How about examples?
Sure. 1. Employees get a bonus at the end of the year if the company does well. 2. I worked overtime and my boss gave me a bonus. 3. She was happy to receive a bonus for completing the project early.
All right, the third word is tip. A tip is a small amount of extra money given to someone, like a waiter or a delivery driver, for their service.
That's a common one. Let's hear your examples.
Here they are. 1. Don't forget to leave a tip for the waiter at the restaurant. 2. The delivery driver smiled when I gave him a tip. 3. In some countries, tipping is not required, but in others, it's expected.
Good job, James. Now the next word is maternity leave. Maternity leave is the time a woman takes off from work before and after having a baby.
That's an important term. Can you give us examples?
Of course. 1. She is on maternity leave for 3 months after giving birth. 2. Many companies offer paid maternity leave to support new mothers. 3. In some countries, maternity leave policies are much longer.
Moving on, we have part-time job. A part-time job is a job where you work fewer hours than a full-time job.
Let's hear some examples.
Sure. 1. I have a part-time job at the coffee shop in the afternoons. 2. She's a student, so she only works a part-time job on weekends. 3. Part-time jobs are great for people who want more flexibility.
Speaking of flexibility, that's actually our next word. Flexibility means being able to adapt or make changes easily, especially in your schedule.
That's a helpful word. Examples, please.
Here you go. 1. This job offers flexibility, so I can choose when to start and finish work. 2. Flexibility in working hours helps employees balance work and family life. 3. Remote work gives people more flexibility to work from anywhere.
Great. Now, let's talk about labor union. A labor union is a group of workers who join together to protect their rights and improve their working conditions.
A very useful term. Examples.
Of course. 1. The labor union negotiated higher wages for the workers. 2. Joining a labor union can help you feel more secure at work. 3. The labor union organized a meeting to discuss employee concerns.
Our next word is entitle. To entitle means to give someone the right to do or have something.
Let's hear those examples.
Sure. 1. You are entitled to take a break during your workday. 2. Employees are entitled to receive overtime pay for extra hours. 3. The new policy entitles parents to more family leave.
Thanks, Olivia. Next up is strike. A strike is when workers stop working to demand better pay or conditions.
That's an important word in the workplace. Examples.
Here they are. 1. The workers went on strike to demand higher salaries. 2. The strike caused delays in public transportation. 3. A strike is often the last option when negotiations fail.
Finally, we have permanent job. A permanent job is a job that has no fixed end date and offers long-term stability.
And the examples.
Here you go. 1. She is happy to have a permanent job after years of short-term contracts. 2. A permanent job often comes with more benefits than temporary jobs. 3. He prefers a permanent job because it provides job security.
That wraps up our introduction and vocabulary section. Now that we understand these words, let's dive deeper into the topic of working conditions.
Thank you, James. So, let's talk more about working conditions and how they impact employees. One important aspect is flexibility, which we mentioned earlier. Many people value jobs that allow them to have flexible hours. For instance, parents might need to adjust their schedules to take care of their children.
That's so true, Olivia. Flexibility isn't just about working hours. It can also mean the ability to work remotely or even choosing how tasks are completed. Companies offering flexibility often see happier and more productive employees.
Exactly. Now, let's discuss part-time jobs. Part-time work can be a great option for students, parents, or even retirees who don't want to commit to full-time roles. However, these jobs may not always come with the same benefits as permanent jobs, like pensions or maternity leave.
Right. And while part-time jobs have their downsides, some companies are improving benefits for part-time workers to make these positions more attractive. On the other hand, permanent jobs provide long-term security and often include a pension plan.
Speaking of pensions, they are an essential benefit for people planning their retirement. A good pension plan can make a significant difference in someone's quality of life after they stop working. That's why many employees look for companies that offer this as part of their benefits package.
And let's not forget bonuses. While pensions are about the long term, bonuses are more immediate rewards. They can motivate employees to perform better and help them feel appreciated for their hard work.
Absolutely. Another important topic is maternity leave. Companies that offer good maternity leave policies support their employees during one of the most critical times in their lives. It's not just about the mothers. These policies often benefit the entire family.
I agree, Olivia. Now, let's touch on labor unions. Labor unions play a crucial role in advocating for workers' rights, like fair wages, safe working conditions, and better benefits. They ensure that employees are entitled to these protections and can voice their concerns collectively.
That's right, James. However, when negotiations fail, employees sometimes have to go on strike to push for better conditions. Strikes are often a last resort, but they can lead to significant changes, like improved wages or benefits.
And this brings us to the idea of entitlement. When workers understand their rights and what they're entitled to, such as paid leave or overtime pay, they feel more empowered. Education about employee rights is crucial.
Agreed. Working conditions are about balance, fairness, and ensuring employees feel valued. Let's dive even deeper into these ideas as we continue.
That's a great point, Olivia. When employees feel valued, it's not just about their productivity. It's also about creating a positive workplace culture. One way to achieve this is by listening to employees and understanding their concerns, which is where labor unions can be so effective.
Absolutely, James. Labor unions give workers a collective voice to address important issues. For example, if employees feel that their wages aren't keeping up with inflation or that their working hours are unfair, unions can step in to negotiate better terms.
And if those negotiations don't work, as we mentioned earlier, strikes can sometimes be necessary. Strikes may disrupt work temporarily, but they often lead to significant improvements in working conditions. For instance, many historical strikes have resulted in higher wages and safer workplaces.
That's true, but it's important to note that not every issue has to escalate to a strike. Employers can foster better relationships by offering benefits that employees value, such as flexibility. For example, giving workers the ability to adjust their schedules can make a big difference, especially for parents or caregivers.
Flexibility really is key in modern workplaces. Another thing that attracts employees is the promise of a permanent job. A permanent position gives people a sense of security, knowing they don't have to worry about finding a new job in a few months.
Yes, and with that security often comes additional benefits, like a pension plan or paid maternity leave. Companies that offer these benefits are usually more successful at keeping their employees long-term because people feel taken care of.
Another important point is entitlement. Employees should know what they're entitled to, whether it's sick leave, overtime pay, or even tips in certain industries. When employees understand their rights, they are more confident in their roles.
That's so true. For example, tipping might seem like a small thing, but it's a significant part of income for workers in industries like hospitality. Customers who understand this often make an effort to leave a fair tip.
Speaking of fairness, bonuses can also play a role in recognizing employees' hard work. Whether it's an end-of-year bonus or a performance bonus, these rewards can boost morale and motivation.
Exactly. And don't forget about maternity leave. Supporting employees through life events like having a baby shows that a company values its people, not just their work.
All these aspects contribute to creating a balanced and supportive working environment. When companies prioritize their employees' well-being, everyone benefits.
I agree, James. Let's explore some final thoughts on this topic as we wrap things up.
Thanks, Olivia. To wrap up, it's clear that working conditions play a vital role in ensuring employees feel supported, valued, and motivated. From flexibility and part-time jobs to permanent roles and benefits like pensions or maternity leave, there are so many factors that contribute to a positive work environment.
That's right, James. We've also seen how important it is for employees to know their rights, whether it's understanding what they're entitled to, like overtime pay, or being part of a labor union that advocates for better conditions.
And let's not forget the importance of recognizing and rewarding hard work. Bonuses and tips may seem like small gestures, but they can make a big difference in showing employees that their efforts are appreciated.
Exactly. And when companies prioritize benefits, like flexible schedules or supportive maternity leave policies, it not only improves employees' lives, but also boosts loyalty and productivity.
We've also talked about how strikes, while sometimes disruptive, can lead to significant changes and improvements when workers come together to demand better conditions. It's all about finding a balance between what employees need and what employers can offer.
That's a great way to summarize it, James. Working conditions are about fairness, respect, and creating an environment where people can thrive, both personally and professionally.
Absolutely. And with that, we want to thank all of you for listening to today's podcast. We hope you learned something new and found it helpful, especially if you're working on improving your English.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like our podcast, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and tell us what topics you'd like us to cover next.
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends and family who might also be learning English or interested in workplace topics.
We really appreciate your support, and we look forward to having you join us in our next episode.
Take care, everyone, and goodbye for now.
Goodbye, and see you next time.